Hi, my name is Kaylee Morgan, and I'm the Youth and University Program Manager at Be the Bridge, and also the Advocacy Coordinator at Iridescent Women. And it's my honor and privilege to bring the word to you today. Today we're going to be in James chapter 1, verses 2 through 8, which say, "Consider it a great joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you experience various trials, because you know that the testing of your faith produces endurance, and let endurance have its full effect, so that you may be mature and complete, lacking nothing. Now, if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God, who gives to all generously and ungrudgingly, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in faith without doubting, for the doubter is like the surging sea, driven and tossed by the wind. That person should not expect to receive anything from the Lord, being double-minded and unstable in all his ways." Now, I wish when we started following Jesus that everything in our lives would just be easy peasy, but that's simply not the case. And the author acknowledges that and also invites us in to view the world through a different perspective, or maybe a different lens. When we go through trials operating out of a worldly perspective, our natural instinct is to hide away in our room, maybe play some sad music and simply pout. But when we look at it through a godly perspective, we'll actually see this trial as a gift, because this gift produces endurance, and endurance strengthens and matures our faith. Now, what comes with a mature faith? Wisdom. You see in verse 5, it says, "Now if any of you lacks wisdom, he should ask God." And I can't help but smile at that, because it almost seems too good to be true. Like, if I just want to be wise, I just have to ask. Yeah. And no. If you keep reading in verse 6, it says, "But let him ask in faith without doubting." And so, yes, God will give you wisdom if you ask for it. However, you have to believe that he will provide. And, wisdom and a mature faith is just simply saying that God is good despite your circumstances. What this passage is not saying is that we aren't allowed to have questions. It's actually quite the opposite. It's not the questioning that's the issue. It's what you do and where you go with that question that matters. So let's say you have a question about your calling. Who do you turn to first, God or your friends? If you have a question about the relationship you find yourself in, who do you turn to first, God or your friends? If you're in the midst of a trial and you're wondering why, who do you look to first, God or your friends? Now, hear me out. We need to be surrounding ourselves with godly community, but we need to be extra intentional that God is the first place that we take all of our questions and inquiries for wisdom and truth. See, what we can gather from this passage is that true wisdom is, while in the midst of a trial, looking to God and simply saying, "God, I don't know why I'm walking through this right now, but help me to see your will, your plan, and the work that you want to do in me in the midst of this, so I don't come out of this unchanged." And friends, we will miss it if we do not get out of our own funk and change our perspective and simply ask God what his plan is. So this is my encouragement to you. If you find yourself in a season where you're lost, if you're confused, if you're just simply curious, just ask. Ask God what he's up to. And remember that God is a generous, good, loving Father that will provide for his children.